Oh, what is going on, Ada Nation? Welcome to Dap Central. My name is Fareed. In today's video, I've got a bombshell coming in from the official WingRiders team. Now, if you're not familiar with WingRiders, they are going to be one of the first DEXs which actually launched using an AMM style model on the Cardano network. Now, I'm going to leave the link to their official DEX down below, but you can access it utilizing the following link, which is app.wingriders.com. Now, as a part of today's video, I'm super excited to announce that this team will be bringing on their own non-custodial LaunchPad on the Cardano network. If you're not familiar with what a LaunchPad is, it's basically going to be a platform that allows for you to raise funds surrounding a particular token. Now, they're going to be bringing a few key things here that are going to be a little bit different and that are going to be offered on just this particular platform that I want to go ahead and jump into. So without any further ado, we're going to jump into their official announcement, and I want to go ahead and just break everything down here with respect to the benefits and exactly what we can expect as a part of this upcoming launchpad. Now, for full transparency, this is aiming to go live next week from the time that I'm shooting this video. And so we should see it live on the Cardano mainnet within the first week of September. On top of that, they've already announced their first blue chip project, which will be launching utilizing their services. So I'm going to touch on that towards the very end of this video. And without any further ado, let's jump into this particular update. So it states here, WingRiders is thrilled to announce the WingRiders Launchpad, or the WRLP. Now, what they want to do is actually go ahead and aim to be one of the one-stop shops for any project to do the following. So this is a pretty big list here, and I'm going to try to touch on all these items here, and then we're going to jump into some of the nuance down below. Number one, you'll be able to mint tokens directly on their launchpad. Number two, you'll be able to perform the initial token sale. Number three, you'll also be able to execute price discovery. So we have a very similar feature on the MinSwap LBE where you're able to basically put up your liquidity. And then there's a timeline where if you want to go ahead and actually withdraw your liquidity, you can go ahead and do so before the actual sale occurs. Now, what this allows is for a fair distribution of whatever token is being sold on the platform. And I'm really excited to see that the WingRiders Launchpad will be including this feature as well. Now, moving down, number four, you'll be able to create the initial liquidity as well as a listing for that particular asset. So you can imagine that, whenever you launch a token, you want to make sure that people are able to get in and out of that token relatively quickly, and therefore you'll need a liquidity pool. So you'll have that as well. Now, following that, you'll have the ability to transparently manage the project and development funds, as well as the ability to create token utility. And this is my favorite piece here, by opening a yield farm to attract external liquidity into their token, therefore stimulating additional buy pressure. So you're basically allowing for token providers or liquidity providers to earn additional rewards, therefore simplifying and smoothing the process of anybody looking to get in and out of that token. So that's going to be what we can expect here from this particular platform. Again, the WingRiders Launchpad. Now, if I scroll down, there's going to be, I believe, 9 different points here that I want to touch on. And I'm going to try to pick up the pace here, but I have to touch on these given the fact that, again, some of these features are expected from a launchpad, but there's a few here that I want to go ahead and touch on that I have not seen launched on any other launchpad on the Cardano network. So coming in at number one, this platform will be fully non-custodial. This means that no one else will have access or control over your crypto project or the tokens that you're actually launching on the WRLP. Number two, it's going to be smart contract based, and that's going to be powered by 7 Plutarch smart contracts and 6 different minting policies, all built on Cardano. And this particular solution took a total of 7 months to develop and build, and it's going to be more complex than their original DEX engine. So what this tells me is that the WingRiders team has been working on this definitely in secret behind the scenes, and they've put in a lot of work making sure that the smart contracts are able to simplify and provide a pretty big piece of security for anybody utilizing this platform. Now, coming in at number 3, this platform will be fully decentralized, and by participating on the WRLP, projects will have the ability to set their parameters and launch for the community to support their growth. Now, the fact that it is decentralized, again, allows for anybody to come onto the platform and launch their own token. But you could imagine that, with the space in crypto, that there's always going to be good actors that use things for the way that they're meant to be used. And there's also going to be bad actors that are looking to take advantage of a platform that is fully decentralized. And so just like we already have a ton of people creating fake tokens, there will be additional measures that I'm going to be touching on here in the additional bullet points down below that are going to be used to mitigate this process. So this will be decentralized, meaning that anybody can come onto the platform and create their own LaunchPad token sale, but they do have some measures to make sure that that does not get abused. So right below that is number 4. This platform will be permissionless, meaning again that any project can launch its own token in this decentralized permissionless environment. Number 5, it's going to be secure. And so this is basically with respect to the DEX. And so because you can go ahead and connect a few wallets already on their DEX platform, those same wallets will be eligible to be connected to for their WRLP. Now, on top of that, you can go ahead and also connect your hardware wallet, which is going to be the most secure method to interact with any protocol, even outside of the WingRiders DEX. Coming in at number 6, there's going to be the anti-scam. Again, this touches back on the fact that because we are going to be operating in a decentralized environment, as well as a permissionless environment, these particular anti-scam requirements are going to be needed to make sure that nobody takes advantage of the protocol. So it states here that they're going to include automated steps preventing projects from rug pulling. The market liquidity as a percentage of the total funds raised will be locked automatically into a liquidity pool for 6+ months. So as a little bit of background, what we tend to have, especially with other DEXs, which do allow for token listings, is that, for example, when we had the meme coin run, a lot of these liquidity pools had a ton of liquidity flowing in right after the initial sale. But after that, we saw big chunks of liquidity immediately coming out of the liquidity pools, basically leaving any holders holding the bag, right? And so with this particular platform, they're going to make sure that for at least a minimum of 6 months, that there's going to be a certain percentage dedicated to liquidity, making sure that nobody's able to take all the liquidity out of that pool, therefore leaving the community holding the bag. Now, on top of that, a collateral down payment by projects will be needed to avoid clogging of the LaunchPad with low quality tokens or fake tokens. Again, this is going to be adding somewhat of a barrier to entry to make sure that not every single token just wants to sign up and use their platform. And this is also going to make sure that people who are using this platform are literally putting their money where their mouth is. Now, how much that collateral is going to be has yet to be decided upon, but it's good to see that they at least want to add a little bit of friction to make sure that not everybody is rushing to list their token on that platform. Now, this is going to be very similar with the Cardano native token, or just ADA in general, with the fact that we also have fees on the network to make sure that people aren't able to spam if we didn't have any transaction fees. So again, adding a little bit of friction and a little bit of a barrier to entry to make sure that top-notch projects are only listed on their LaunchPad. Coming in at number 7, we have the fact that this platform will be audited. So this solution has been fully audited with all findings already mediated or taken care of in the last 8 weeks. Again, this tells me that they've been at least working on this for more than that, right? So if they have remediated everything within the last 8 weeks, they've probably been working on this LaunchPad for more than 3 to 4 months. So congratulations to the WingRiders team. Coming in at number 8, this platform will be compliant with respect to the jurisdictions in which the projects are actually launching in. Now, one thing to keep in mind here is that the US and Canada will be banned from any participation of the actual LaunchPad. So a little bit of an unfortunate piece there, given the fact that the US does have a lagging timeline when it comes to crypto adoption and crypto regulatory clarity. Now, a third-party KYC process will be supported, and on other launchpads, this is also the norm, and this will be based on projects that want to use it if it matches their needs. So here, it's not going to be a requirement, but it will be a tool that is available for any project looking to launch on this platform using KYC. Now, last but not least, we have number 9. This particular platform will allow tailoring for the launches that are being done on it. So all projects can now set up various parameters of their launch, including multiple tiers with various conditions to reflect their community's needs. Projects can even raise tokens in any other assets such as IUSD, JED, and ADA. So normally we see funds being raised directly in ADA, but again, this is going to be a new feature allowing people to also raise funds in JED or IUSD, which, as you know, are pegged to the US dollar, therefore making it a lot more stable than funds raised in ADA. Again, you can imagine that if you raise funds in ADA directly first and the price of ADA falls, you then have a lower amount when it comes to the total amount of funds raised. Whereas if you fundraise in IUSD or JED and the price of ADA falls, you're unimpacted by that price drop. So that, I think, is going to be one of the biggest things there, right? The fact that you can now raise funds in IUSD as well as JED. You also have the ability to decide whether or not you want to use KYC. And then we also touched on the fact that you will have some of these anti-scam features to make sure that nobody's taking advantage of the protocol. So last but not least here, this will add an additional revenue source for the DEX and DAO treasury to finance long-term improvements and developments for the WingRiders protocol. Now, it does state here at the very end that the first launches will be supported by WingRiders in a strictly advisory role. And this is just to make sure, that nobody takes advantage of it, especially when it's very young and we haven't actually had anybody using it, to make sure that it gets used the right way. Now, I mentioned earlier before we kick this off that we did finally get an announcement surrounding a blue chip project that will be launching as the very first project to utilize the WRLP. So without any further ado, that will be the OrcFax protocol. OrcFax is going to be a decentralized Oracle platform, basically taking off-chain data and real-world data and bringing that onto the Cardano network for the community to use. They also state here that they are thrilled to reveal that they'll be collaborating and working with the WRLP to launch their OrcFax utility token, or the FACT token. If you're not aware, the OrcFax team did recently have an ISPO as well, and hopefully we begin to see some updates surrounding that and the distribution of those assets. Now, pivoting back over to their public token sale, they'll utilize the WRLP platform to distribute a total of 86 million of their tokens to the community, while bootstrapping a liquidity pool holding a total of 24 million of the FACT tokens and the corresponding amount of ADA. Because this is a liquidity pool, one half of the liquidity pool has to be with the FACT token, whereas the other half is with ADA, therefore allowing users to easily swap in with ADA and get out FACT, or the other way around. If they want to sell their FACT token, they can then put that into the liquidity pool and then withdraw ADA. Now, one thing that stuck out to me there is the fact, no pun intended, that they're putting out 24 million of the FACT tokens into their initial liquidity pool. That is almost a third of the total supply being sold on the WRLP. I think for me, that shows that they are trusting in the platform, and they're also very confident in the adoption and use of the FACT token. Ladies and gentlemen, that will take us to the end here for today's video, breaking down all of the news and hype surrounding the brand new WRLP. Again, while we do have some launchpads already on Cardano, this one does bring its own set of unique features, which I'm definitely looking forward to using. If you are as well, definitely make sure to let me know down below. As always, if you found this particular video to be helpful or insightful in any way, shape, or form, I would appreciate you if you could tap that like button. If it's your first time stopping by the channel and you want more content like this, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions for me surrounding the WingRiders platform or Cardano in general, then go ahead and make sure to leave a comment down below. That said, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.